Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Girivanidhari Kashoyanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Kashoyanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Astottara Srimad Iskon Founder Acharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Syamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Samveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasa Tato Jayamudirayat Nasta Preshu Abadeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 11, Text 18, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Varanendram Puraskritya Brahmane Sasumangale Shankaturya Ninadena Brahma Goshena Chadritaha Pratyujagmurataya Rishta Pranayagata sadvasaha Varanendram puraskritya Brahmane sasumangalai Shankaturya ninadena Brahma Goshena Chadritaha Pratyujagmurtairishta Pranayagata Sadvashaha Vararendram Puraskritya Brahmanai Sasumangalai Priyaninadena Brahma Goshena Chadritaha Pratyujagmu Pratyarjisha Pranayagata Sadvashaha Varanendram Puraskritya Brahmane Shashumangalai Shankaturya Ninadena Shankaturya Jitaha Pradyujgmaratarishta Pranayagata Sadvashaha. Anyone else? Varanendram Puraskritya Brahmanai Shashumangalai Sankyaturya Ninadena Brahma Goshena Chadritaha Pratyujagmurtairishta Pranayagata Sadvashaha Varanendram Puraskritya Brahmanai Shashumangalai Sankaturya Ninadena Brahma Goshena Chadrita Pratyujagmu Pratyarishta Pranayagata Sadvashaha Varanyam Puraskritya Brahmanai Shashumangalai Shankaturya Ninadena Brahma Goshena Chadrita Pratyujagmuratairishta Pranayagata Sadvasha Varana Indram. Elephants on the auspicious mission. Puraskritya. Putting in the front. Brahmanae. By the Brahmins. Sasush Mangale. With all auspicious signs. Shanka. Conch shell, Turya, bugle, Ninadena, by the sound of, Brahma Goshena, by chanting the hymns of the Vedas, Cha, and, Adritaha, glorified, Proti, towards Ujagamuhu, proceeded hurriedly Ritai, on the chariots. Rishtaha, in cheerfulness. Pranayagata, saturated with affection. Sadvashaha, all respectful. They hastened toward the Lord on chariots with Brahmins bearing flowers. Before them were elephants, emblems of good fortune. Conch shells and bugles were sounded, and Vedic hymns were chanted. Thus they offered their respects, which were saturated with affection. The Vedic way of receiving a great personality creates an atmosphere of respect, which is saturated with affection and veneration for the person received. The auspicious atmosphere of such a reception depends on the paraphernalia described above, including conch shells, flowers, incense, decorated elephants, and qualified Brahmins, reciting verses from the Vedic literatures. Such a program of reception is full of sincerity on the part of both the receiver and the received. We'll read the translation again, and you can repeat. They hasten towards the Lord on chariots, with Brahmins bearing flowers. Before them were elephants, emblems of good fortune. Conch shells and bugles were sounded, and Vedic hymns were chanted. Thus they offered their respects, which were saturated with affection. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jana Jana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Gena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, Lord Krishna is returning from Hastinapur, and he also was at the Battle of Kurukshetra on the field with Grandfather Bhishmadev. So, in the history of Mahabharata, some poignant points were given. The meeting with Queen Kunti was given, and then the instructions of Grandfather Bhishmadev to Yudhisthira was also described in previous chapters. Now Krishna is returning to Dwarka, to his devotees, and there's a great excitement. As it's stated here, Pranayagata, saturated with affection. The devotees of the Lord, they're full of prem. All these devotees in Dwarka, they're actually coming from, they're in the Vrishni dynasty, the Yadu dynasty. They're all appeared with Lord Krishna. When Krishna appears on the planet, his main focus is to give pleasure to his devotees. After all, the elements, he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhutanam dharmasya tadatmanam shujamyaham pritranaya sadhanam vinashaya chaduskritam. So, Krishna can kill the demons with the material energy. Adidaivika klesh, so many earthquakes, so many diseases, so many different ways of killing demons. He doesn't really have to come and kill the demons. And his real purpose is, first of all, to have wonderful pastimes with his devotees. Out of the 64 qualities of Krishna, the final 4 qualities that are exclusive to Krishna is that he's always surrounded by loving devotees, and that he is having very extraordinary pastimes with his devotees, like his Damodar pastimes, with his childhood pastimes. So Krishna is appearing for the benefit of his devotees, and also he wants to have these leelas to attract devotees further on in the history. So now we're in Kali Yuga, 5,000 years after Krishna left, and we're hearing from Nigam Kalpataror Galitam Phalam, that we're hearing from the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures, hearing about Lord Krishna, glorifying Krishna, the devotees, Mad Chitta, Madgata Prana, Bodhayantas Parasparam, Katayantas Chamam Nityam, Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. The lives of devotees are simply absorbed in the Lord. Katayantas Chamam Nityam, they derive great pleasure in discussing Krishna Katha. Rupa Goswami warns us because all human beings in human society, we're very attracted to romance, we're attracted to adventures. So Krishna is also, he's the origin of romance. He's the origin of the various rasas, friendship rasa, madhurya ras, vatsalya ras, and he also has his fighting spirit. So when he comes here with his entourage, he also wants to engage in some sports, fighting sports. So we see, for example, Jai and Vijay, they were gatekeepers at the doors of Vaikuntha, at the gates of Vaikuntha, and they were cursed. It was an arrangement. Krishna wants to fight. Who is he going to fight with? He fights with, in the form of Ram, he fights with Ravana. And he fights with Shishupal and Dantavakra. And he's, also having his wonderful fighting pastimes with Bhaumasura and Jarasandha. He defeats Jarasandha 17 times on the battlefield. So these pastimes are, they're eternally, historically put into the Vedic literatures, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vedavyasi spoke all the Vedas and all the corollaries to the Vedas, but he wasn't satisfied. So we know that Narada Muni came and advised him to speak specifically on the glorious pastimes of Lord Krishna and his devotees. The devotees, Bhaktistu Ananyaya Shakya Ahamevam Vidorjuna. Arjuna is told by Krishna that the Vedas are nice. Naham Vedana tapasa nadanena nacheja. He says, you can't actually see me in this two-armed form that he showed Arjuna on the battlefield. First he showed Arjuna his Virat Rup. Then he manifested his four-armed form. But the most intimate form of the Lord, the most intimate pastimes, are in his human-like form. Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san. He comes and appears human-like. So he tells Arjuna, you can't actually enter into the mystery of my understanding simply by studying the Vedas. Anaham Vedarna tapasa, by being a yogi, performing great penances and austerities. Nadanena, giving in charity. Even the demons give in charity. Ravana was giving in charity. Karna was giving in charity every day. So no, unless it's done for Lord Krishna. So then he tells Arjuna, Gyatum Drastum, you can know me and see me only by this Bhaktistu Ananyaya Shakya Ahamevam Vidorjuna Gyatum Drastum Chachatbina Praveshtum Cha Parantapa. You can only see me in this beautiful form. It says that Krishna's most exclusive quality is his extraordinary, unparalleled, unrivaled beauty. That is one of the 64 qualities, and none of the other, even Lord Vishnu doesn't have this extraordinary beauty. So when Arjuna saw Lord Krishna in his beautiful two-armed form standing there, his hair stood on end. So Krishna ultimately wants to invoke this prema, this ecstatic love, which is being given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he empowers the 6 Goswamis Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipano. He empowers the 6 Goswamis to write on the most confidential secrets of devotional service, of the real treasure of life. It said that Lord Chaitanya and the Ramananda Roy were like miners, and they were mining to taste these transcendental mellows of prem, of love of God. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered Ramananda Roy, who's considered an incarnation of Arjuna or Vishaka, to speak on the wonderful loving leelas and the loving emotions that the devotees of Vrindavan, and here we're reading about the devotees of Dwarka, that these devotees have for Lord Krishna. So when Krishna is entering Dwarka, there's a huge cultural arrangement made for him. And Prabhupada's saying here, the Vedic way of receiving a great personality creates an atmosphere of respect, which is saturated with affection, pranayagata, an atmosphere saturated with affection. So, of course, Queen Kunti also prays that may my affection always flow towards you, just as the Ganges River flows towards the ocean. So this is the actual purpose and goal of life. And we're seeing the devotees here, they're completely absorbed. As Rupa Goswami gives us the instruction, first and most important instruction, always remember Krishna and never forget the Lord. Manmana bhava mad bhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru, mami vaishasi satyam te, pratijani priyosi me. But bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Krishna is enlightening Arjuna. He's giving himself. He is known as Bhakta Vatsalya. He's giving himself to his devotee, and he is also giving shelter to his devotees. And he's giving protection to his devotees because he's purchased only by their love and devotion. This is the only way you can conquer the Lord. The Lord is conquered by this love and devotion. And how do we get that love and devotion? Not directly. Krishna tells Uddhava that, my dear Uddhava, one who says he's my devotee, he's not my devotee. One who is the devotee of my devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know the famous verse, Gopir Pada Kamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudas. So, devotees are always exchanging how to enliven each other in Krishna consciousness, how to inspire each other. Katayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They're deriving great pleasure enlightening each other about Lord Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada used to say, one of the most important aspects of Krishna consciousness is sadhu sangha, associating with each other. Asat sangha tyage vaishnavachar, Shri Krishna eka sadhu, Krishna bhakta ar. One must give up the association of non-devotees. Asat sangha tyag. Unfortunately, non-devotees are influenced by forgetfulness of Lord Krishna. Therefore, Maya has them under the modes of material nature. Moga shamoga karmana moga jnana vichesi saha rakshashim asurim chaiva prakritim asurim tritaha. Krishna actually condemns the non-devotees. Although he says to Arjuna, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dvesh, I'm not envious of them, nor am I favorable to anyone. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshucha. But one who becomes my devotee, who gives his heart to me, who gives his life and soul to me, manasa deho geho yo kichumora arpilan tu apada nandi kishora. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is teaching us, manasa deho geho. Whatever situation you're in, whether you're vanaprastha, sannyasi, whatever ashram you're in, he's give your mind, manasa, deho geho, my body, my senses, in the service of the Lord. my household in the service, everything is belonging to the Lord. That is the mentality of the devotee. And then Krishna becomes eventually purchased. So that is our business. And to attract Krishna, how do we attract Krishna? How did they attract Krishna, these great souls? The great sages in Dandakaranya forest, they prayed to Lord Ram, let me take birth in Dwapara Yuga and taste the Madhurya Ras with Lord Krishna, the most intimate exchange with the Lord. How did they get there? How did these great sages get there? By millions of lives of trying to please the other great sages, the other acharyas. Utsahan nischayat taryat tat karma vartanat sangatyaga suto vrite. That we have to follow in the footsteps of the acharyas. We have to please the parampara system. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bringing us the pure parampara system coming down from Veda Vyas, Madhavacharya, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears and gives us a Chinta Beda Beda Tattvam, that we are eternally servants of Lord Krishna. And so we want to always associate with devotees in a favorable way. So always talking and glorifying Krishna is the real sangha, the real association with the Lord. Here, the devotees in Dwarka, they're all glorifying Lord Krishna. They're always completely absorbed in the Lord, glorifying His beauty, His pastimes, His paraphernalia, His instructions. And this is all being revealed to us by Lord Chaitanya's disciples, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami. They're carefully giving us the entire treasure house of love of Godhead, the prema of love of God gradually. So associating with devotees and also avoiding the pitfalls of devotional service, the obstacles to devotional service. Atyahara prayashascha prajalpaniyamagraha. So over-endeavoring, overeating, over-collecting. Prajalpa, talking gossip. Gramya kata. Niyamagraha, following the rules without trying to develop an actual affection for the Lord, an actual affection for the devotees, an affection for the advanced devotees. Niyamagraha also means not following the rules and regulations properly or following them mechanically. Jana sangas chaloliam cha. Associating with non-devotees, Prabhupada said that, he quoted Bhakti Siddhanta, that all these printing of newspapers and all these mundane literatures, they're completely useless. The only useful purpose of printing is to print the wonderful glorification of the Lord in the Puranas, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is all garbage, like that. So even hearing about the news, hearing about what's going on in the political realm of the world, this is all prajalpa. Or politics in the assembly of devotees, so-and-so this, so-and-so. This is all contamination of the heart and mind. Prajalpa, jana sangas, you're associating through sound vibration of these journalists and so on. And lolium, wanting too many material things. Yavad briyeta jataram tavat svatvam hi dehinam adhikam yobimanyeta sustaina dandham arhati. In the 7th canto, Narada Muni is stating that one should accept only as much as one needs to maintain body and soul together. If one takes more than that, then sustaina, he is a thief, and dandham arati, he will suffer in some way or another. So if we try, even within Krishna consciousness, if we don't avoid these different pitfalls, we may have some desires may come up to acquire more than we need, acquire followers, acquire a position, social position, respect. So these are tiny little subtle desires that will pose as obstacles on attracting the attention of the Lord. As Bhaktisiddhanta said, do something that Krishna will pay attention to you. That's the idea, that we want to please the acharyas. Heno vino nite bai Radha Krishna poitinai. If you want to get the mercy of Radha and Krishna, if you want to understand the activities in the spiritual world of the Lord in the spiritual world, then you have to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the Adi Guru. And Lord Nityananda is represented by the great acharyas. So this is the line that we have to please these acharyas. Acharyamam vijaniyam navamanyeta karhichit. That the acharya is non-different from Lord Krishna. That's also stated, we say every morning, Vishwanath Chakravarti's prayers. So the secret of success, how to please the acharyas. And what did Srila Prabhupada ask us to do? Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I order every man in this universe to become Krishna conscious and give it to others, sharing Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, I heard him in Los Angeles say, if you want to please me, then you preach as vigorously as I did. That means to be yadidachariti shresthas tatad evitaro janaha. First, achar. We have to become exemplary devotees. Control the mind, the senses, practice renunciation. Niskinchanana bhagavad bhajanong mukasya paramparam jigamashur bhavasagarasya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very exemplary. He avoided meeting with Maharaj Prataparuja. He avoided meeting with any materialistic person. He said, Nityananda said, oh no, he's a great devotee of the Lord, although his name is King. And he has a great kingdom, but he's a great devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the word king is like a spot of ink on the white cloth, like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he declined from giving darshan to Maharaj Prataparuja. Gradually, he was convinced by Ramananda Roy, and we know that eventually he allowed Maharaj Prataparuja to massage his legs during Rath Yatra festival in the gardens on the way to Gundicha Mandir. Maharaj Prataparuja was instructed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to wear just ordinary Vaishnava dress, and he gave Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu massage. He was very exhausted. Chaitanya was very exhausted from dancing in ecstasy for Lord Jagannath. And he was also reciting from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Gopi Gita, songs by the gopis. The gopis were looking for Krishna in the forest. Krishna had left the gopis because of they had some pride, or apparently had some pride. So like this, the secret of success is to please the great acharyas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing by his example. He only left us the Shikshashtakam, the 8 prayers, but he himself, by his behavior and by his dealings with his devotees, he showed us what is yadyadacharati shreshash tattad evitaro janaha sayat puranam kurate lokastana vartate. How did Srila Prabhupada attract so many thousands and thousands of foolish fellows? Manda sumanda mataya manda bhagya hu upadrutaha. We're actually Kali Yugis. We're drowning in this ocean of Kali Yuga. Kalir dosha nide rajan. It's an ocean of nescience, ocean of darkness. How did Srila Prabhupada pull us out? By his qualities, by his great love for Krishna. Simply by his prem, he was able to attract us. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur once said that You can tell the character of a great devotee by the heaps of devotees that he has made next to him, by the mountain of devotees, like that. So this is the secret. Kalikalar Dharm Harinam Sankirtan Krishna Shakti Vinanehe. So Srila Prabhupada, by his love for Krishna, is empowered to attract the tiny little souls who are swimming in this ocean of birth and death, who are drowning in the ocean. And he's come like a great cloud to give us, to shower the rain of Krishna Bhakti upon this burning, that we're all burning up. The conditioned souls are burning in this material world. And anyone who gets the holy name of the Lord, that we give them the holy name, give them the mercy. Srila Prabhupada said they will get some agyana sukriti, some unknown devotional service. It's the beginning of their devotional life. So that is the business of the Hare Krishna movement. That is our business, to become exemplary. And then, as Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda did, they simply drowned everyone in love of God. So Namo Mahavadanyaya. Why is he Mahavadanyaya? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva are so full of compassion. So full of compassion. Just like Prahlad Maharaj says, Twadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magnachita. I have no fear. Naivo Vijay Para Duratya Vaitaranyam. I'm not afraid of this material world, of this ocean of Vaitarani river. He said, Shoche Tito Vimukacheta Sa Indra. He says, my only soche, my only lamentation, Maya Sukaya Baram Udvahato Vimudhan. That the living entities are all trying to taste this so-called pleasure of the material world. Maya Sukaya Baram. Enjoying family, society, friends. I'm the president of India, I'm the president of America. I have so many things to do. I have to protect my people. I have to help my family. All working like this. But it's described by Narada Muni to Prachina Barhishat Maharaj that the allegory is Puranjana, the king. He's trying to help his family, but he's being attacked. The city of 9 gates is being attacked by Chandavega and the soldiers, 360 soldiers. Day and night, you're losing your life, and you do not care to chant the holy names of the Lord. Ayur Hariti Vaipum Sam Udyanastan Chayanaso. Both by the rising and setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except those who are always absorbed in glorifying Uttama Shloka Vartaya, glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is glorified with selective verses. This is from the 2nd canto. Tasyarte Yachanonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. So like that, those devotees are glorifying the Lord, and they're trying to deliver the souls, as Prahlad Maharaj. He has no interest. He's taking risks. He took so many risks. Why? Komaramacharat Pragyo Dharmam Bhagavatani. He's preaching to the sons of demons. So that is our business. That is our business. I remember when living in the West, approaching someone from India, and I thought, oh, there must be sadhus. They must be sadhu people. They're from India. But we see, as Prabhupada said, India has fallen. They've fallen under the influence of Kali. And cow killing is going on. Intoxication, all the 4 irreligious adharmis are going on right here in the district of Nadia. So they also need the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj. They also need the mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam. They also need the mercy of the Lord. And we are the instruments. Savyasachin. Krishna tells Arjuna, you're the instrument, Savyasachin. You're the instrument for me to destroy the evil forces here that are putting a burden on Mother Earth. So we are simply instruments in the service of the Lord. to distribute the desire, the will of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His will is to deliver this entire world, which is wallowing in the dense darkness of the Kali Yuga. It may look nice on the outside in America, these countries, Western countries, everything's so glittery. Prabhupada said people go there like late crows. They're attracted to the glitter of Maya. This is Krishna's illusory energy. It's very, very powerful. Bhoga Aishvarya Prasaktanam Taya Paritache. Bhoga Aishvarya. People are Nunam Pramata Kurute Vikarma. They're mad after sense gratification. So where do we want to go? America. And Prabhupada, when he arrived there, he saw, first of all, how will they listen to this message of Veda Vyas? They're under Raja and Tamagun. Rajo Ragatmika Vidi Trishnam Sangam Samudbhava. In the mode of passion, people are overwhelmed by material desires to acquisition and wealth and fame and sense gratification. It's a demoniac. There's no happiness there. He some sparsaja boga dukkha yonas. It's a source of unhappiness, dukkha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's lamenting for the conditioned souls, lamenting for them, although they may look like they're enjoying the material world. As Prahlad says, maya sukaya param udvahato vimudan. Vimudan means they're bewildered. We become bewildered by the mode of passion, and what to speak of the mode of ignorance. These are the qualities that are embraced by, the demons are influenced by Raja and Tamagun. There's a few people that are cultivating Sattvagun. So it is our business, it is our duty. And the fruit of our labor is to receive the mercy of the great acharyas, receive the mercy that one day we can actually relish these transcendental pastimes of the Lord, entering Dwarka. We can reflect and meditate. We can share with each other how Krishna is coming on a chariot. As Prabhupada said, in the Vedic culture, everything was made of gold. Chariots were made of gold. Plates were made of gold. Prabhupada was giving this talk when I was in Portland, Oregon. He's saying, what is this? Now they have... What is their material opulence? They're using plastic plates. He said plastic. He said Yudhisthira Maharaj and the Pandavas, they had gold plates. And after they ate once on the gold plate, they would throw it in the streets so that the lower classes, like the Sudras, could have some gold. They were very merciful. The human society was very, very peaceful. There were grains, there was milk, there were minerals coming from the oceans, minerals from the mountains. All these gifts were given. Yagya Shishtashino Shanto Muchante Salva Kilbishai. All these gifts were being given by Mother Nature because the yagya was being performed. The people were trained how to develop their God consciousness. There was an absence of sinful activities because of a great, Prabhupada said, better to have a spiritual dictator like Maharaj Yudhisthira than a foolish animal-like man who's voted in by another foolish animal-like man. And simply this whole civilization is simply ugra karma, simply a place, a dungeon of demons, simply factories and war fields. He says, simply a dungeon of demons. So it's complete darkness unless we take shelter of the holy name of the Lord and glorify the Lord. As he said, the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is a Brihat Madangam. His books are Brihat Madangam, as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said. They are the big Madanga. The people who read these books, who read the writings given by the Acharyas, are actually non-different from performing Sankirtan Yagya. So these books are going into the homes of people, and it's a non-different from the Lord. Book Bhagavata. Person Bhagavat, book Bhagavat. And they're actually associating with the Lord. And as Prabhupada said, everything follows book distribution. He said everything will follow book distribution. And we see by his, by his emphasis on distribution of the books and distribution of the holy name, everything success followed. He did it single-handedly, no help from anywhere. He appealed to his god brothers to help him. They didn't help him. But Krishna empowered him, just as Arjuna was empowered to defeat the Akshohinis, so many Akshohini divisions. They were outnumbered, but they had Krishna, right? Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna, Yatra Partha Danudara. Like wherever there's Krishna, there's victory, morality, extraordinary strength, power, and morality. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, that's the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we are taking shelter of the Lord. We're actually the warriors. We have to fight the Maya. Prabhupada said in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in the purport, one who takes up this Krishna consciousness movement is actually declaring war on Maya. We're declaring war on Maya, and she has many weapons to release at us. Rain weapon, fire weapon, air weapon, wind weapon. So by taking shelter of the Lord, Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha, by taking shelter of the divine protection of the Lord, then he says, Kuntiya pratijani hi name bhakta pranay. I will protect my devotees. Even you may go through so many difficulties, first with your own mind and senses, and then difficulties from outside. Still, Krishna says, Kuntiya pratijani hi name bhakta pranashiti. I will always protect you. Don't worry. I'll always protect you. Just do what you're supposed to do. Stick with the program. The process works. Utsahan nischayat daryat. Be enthusiastic, be patient, and be determined and confident. These are recommended by Rupa Goswami. Enthusiasm, that's all Prabhupada used to say, that's all we have, enthusiasm. We're not big businessmen, we're not big scientists. Of course, Bhakti Yoga is a science. But he says the enthusiasm is very important. And that comes from within. By associating with devotees and by organizing ourselves to distribute the mercy to others, we become utsahan. We become enthusiastic, and then nischayat, we have to be very patient. As Prabhupada said, Rome was not built in one day. They didn't build Rome in a day. So it's a gradual process of Bhakti Yoga. There are many pitfalls on this road back to the spiritual world, back to Godhead. Many rocks and pebbles and obstacles on the path of devotional service. So we have to be very, very discerning, very attentive to avoid, as Prabhupada says, there's always, pitfalls on the royal road. There may always be some danger on the royal road. Samasrita ye pada palabla pravam mahat patam punya yishomari bhavam buddhiryastam padam yad vipadam natesham. That step by step in this world, there's so many dangers, so many pitfalls, so many allurements, so many arrows thrown by Maya, but we have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Murari, and then he will give us protection. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhadra Purnim ki. Distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books ki. Hare Krishna. Is there any comments or questions or today's verse or anything? Yes, Prabhu Kirtan, Krishna, Krishna Kirtan ki.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your nice class. You, excuse me if I quote you wrong, but you said something about you can see how great a devotee is by by the number of his followers, something like this.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that, yeah. Recognition of a great devotee is by how many devotees he's attracted.
So we see a lot of, I would say, false gurus that aren't in a line. They're not. They have no. It's all like made up, and they have a lot of followers. So how does this? Because I think that I would believe that it would be the quality of the devotees rather than the number. So how can we?
Yeah, when Bhaktivinoda said that, he means that the great devotees are able to make others into devotees. And many, like Srila Prabhupada, attracted thousands just by his eminence, by his great devotional service. So the false gurus, pseudo-gurus, they may have many followers more than ISKCON, but they're not devotees. They're not real devotees. They're not authentic devotees. It's very difficult to be an authentic devotee. So the great devotees, they actually are able to convince and transform, right? Comes from Sanatana Goswami says, Yata kinchanatam yati, comes from that just like bell metal is turned into gold, so these great devotees can transform the iron-like personalities into gold-like devotees, swan-like devotees. So that is a symptom that we're actually following the path of Bhakti Yoga. By the thousands and millions, we're following the path of Bhakti Yoga. Yes, you have many false gurus going to the West, and they tell, they preach, you could do whatever you want. They don't follow the Bhagavad Gita, although they wear saffron. They're not following the Bhagavad Gita, and they may get many followers, but they're just foolish followers. They're not real devotees of the Lord. So that's the idea. We see Bhaktisiddhanta, he created 64 maths. Srila Prabhupada went single-handedly to the West, so many hundreds and hundreds of temples now, and thousands and thousands of devotees. They're empowered by the Lord because they're 100%, 100% unalloyed. Unalloyed, there's no alloy. It's pure steel. Ahaituki apratiyata. Yenat masa. Ahaituki, right? Dharma sahi apavargasya narta. Savaipum sampuro dharmo. Ahaituki bhakti. That's what pleases Krishna. Bhaktistu ananyaya shakya. Not a tinge of material interest, subtle or gross. And no mental speculation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Haribol. Yes, Prabhu. Going that way.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class. You quoted many verses from the scriptures. Appreciate that so much. In your class, in the beginning, you quoted the verse from the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita toward the end, Naham Vedaya Natapasa. So Krishna also mentioned that Nachejaya. Krishna said that nor anybody can understand me by worship. Chejaya means worship.
Nachejaya.
Yeah, but according to what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, worship is one of the aspect of our devotional practice. So how you reconcile these statements? It seems to be like contradicted. Hare Krishna.
Well, yeah, you could even say I'm studying the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita is, a corollary to the 4 Vedas. But that vidi pranipatena, you have to be given this process. Just like Sri Vigrahara Dhana Nityananda, Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying, the spiritual master is teaching you how to worship. You always have to be guided by a bona fide guru, bona fide spiritual master. Naisham Matistava Rukamingam, right? That verse. You have to get the dust from the lotus feet, from the great, great devotees of the Lord. So they guide us. They are guiding light. How to perform ijja, how to perform worship. Otherwise, Ravana, Banasura was worshipping Lord Shiva. He got 1,000 arms. His worship is for some material benefit, first of all. So there's worship. Yakshe dashyami modisha. Krishna says the demons also perform yagas. Yakshe dashyami modisha itya jnana. They worship, they do sacrifices, but it's for their own false ego or out of some material motive. So yeah, people worship Hitler. Prabhupada wrote in one of his purports that a person in Bengal, he was a Vaishya businessman. He became very wealthy because of the war. And so he was worshipping Hitler. That's in one of Prabhupada's purports. So, yeah, we want to worship under the guidance of the great acharyas, the great devotees. So, Sanatana Goswami gives us the Hari Bhakti Vilas, how to perform deity worship properly, in the right state of mind, under the right regulations, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, yeah, demons, they do worship too. Ijja. They also know the Vedas. Hiranyakashipu was preaching to some child died or something, and he was preaching. Oh, the soul is eternal. He's preaching that. Why are you lamenting? Misconstruement of Vedic literature is a very dangerous thing. We see that Ramachandra Puri, he chastised his own spiritual master. He criticized him. Madhavendra Puri was experiencing the mood of Radharani in separation, that Krishna has gone to Mathura. And oh my Lord, how can I attain you? You know, yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam sunyayitam jagat sarvam govind. Feeling separation. And Madhavendra Puri, Brahma Bhuta Prashana, why are you lamenting? He's telling his own spiritual master. And Madhavendra Puri is so upset. Get out. If I see you when I leave this world, I'll be condemned. He said, never. So he was condemned by the spiritual master. He didn't get the mercy. In fact, worse than that, he was condemned by him, rejected by him, because he was misconstruing the Siddhanta of the Vedas, which is the ultimate end of the Vedas, Prima Pumartha Mahan, how to love God, how to love the Lord, how to love Krishna, not how to merge. Brahma Bhuta Prashanat Mana Sochati Na Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labate Param. That means always remembering Krishna, always serving Krishna within. Like the 6 Goswamis, they're living under a tree, different tree every night. Calling out in the mood of ecstasy. Where is Krishna? Are you on Govardhan Hill? Where are you? Love of God. That's our birthright. Our birthright is how to develop our affection towards Lord Krishna, the supreme, original Adi Purusham. So for that, there's 9 processes of bhakti, and one is worshipping, right? Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, little different from today's topic. Still, it comes to my mind, so I am asking you.
Slow down a little bit, because I have a bad with accent. Your accent is different to mine, so.
Okay. It is little different from today's topic, but it comes to my mind. That is why I am asking you. Lord Krishna maintains all living entities from ant to elephant. And we read many times at Srila Prabhupada's Parpat. But as a grihastha, we feel insecurity and uncertainty. How we can put that theory in practice and realize insight? Of course, we need to work as per our capacity. How we can put that theory into practice, that Krishna maintains all living entities, including ant to elephant. That is my question.
Could someone clarify your question?
How Krishna is maintaining all the living entities, including the ants up to the elephants. How can we absorb this siddhanta and apply this into our life?
Is that what you're asking?
And as a grihastha, we feel insecurity and uncertainty. So how to remove that insecurity and uncertainty?
Insecurity is within the heart. Krishna actually tells us the word Madhusan, oh killer of the enemy, Madhusan. Doubts are like demons. Srila Prabhupada used to say doubts are like demons. So Ashradhanas, Purusha, the faith has to become stronger and stronger. One becomes by associating with devotees, by performing bhajana kriya, by coming to a stage of nishta. Nishta means fixed in devotional service. Then one loses these doubts and insecurities, or these are they're attacks from Maya by the modes of nature. So as we progress in our spiritual life, tadaradastamo bhavo kamalobhadayascha cheta eterana ridam stita pragya, we become fixed in devotional service, unmovable in our devotional service. So that's firm faith. The firm faith is needed to continue in devotional service. That's a condition of the heart which influences our mind. If the mind is wavering, as Arjuna said in the 6th chapter, Chanchala himana Krishna pramati balavadridam. How do we conquer that mind? We have to continue with determination in devotional service, and taking positive association with the devotees. Gradually the mind becomes strong. We have to commit ourselves moment to moment. Satatam kirtayantu mam yatantas cha dhridavrataha, like always engaging moment to moment in the service of the Lord. Don't take a break. And gradually you'll be raised by Krishna to a platform of nishta, where you fixed in devotional service. Then after that, tata nishta tato ruchi. Then you get a taste for the holy name of the Lord. Within the holy name is the sweetness of Lord Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So within the name, Lord Krishna is there, and he's very sweet. But because we have jaundice, we're suffering from the jaundice of material contamination, we can't taste the sweetness of the holy name. But as we become more evolved in our devotional service, after becoming fixed, and then we get the taste, and then these doubts and insecurities, and they vanish from within our hearts. It's a matter of the heart. And therefore, in this process, we avoid the 10 offenses, of which the first one is sadhu nindana, to blaspheme devotees of the Lord, even mentally. This is a great danger. The elephant offense, hastimata. The elephant destroys the sugarcane field when it gets crazy. So similarly, we have to avoid these 10 offenses, beginning with sadhu nindana, thinking negatively about any devotee, always respecting devotees, and feeling oneself Lord in the straw on the street, always feeling respectful to devotees and not thinking, oh, I deserve some respect. Why aren't you? Don't you know who I am? Dambo darpo abhimanasya krodha. This is a quality of demons, so we're influenced by demoniac thoughts. Don't you? What are you doing? Don't you know? I am a Prabhu. No, I'm a das. I'm a servant, like that. So, as Bhaktisiddhanta said, you beat the mind with shoes. when you wake up and beat the mind with sticks before going to sleep. Beat the mind with the stick of Krishna consciousness and humility. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Janani Vas Prabhu, any comments before I shut her down?
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada says that there are some devotees who like to increase the family size of the devotees by making many disciples. And there's another one who just does his own bhajan, but he can purify the atmosphere. Just like Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he wasn't very much interested in making disciples, but by his bhajan, he said he was purifying the whole universe. So there's two classes. Some are inclined to increase the family of devotees. I heard Chaitanya Maharaj quote that a few days ago. Increase the family of devotees.
So there's two different tracks. You increase the family of devotees and purify by kirtan and bhajan. Is that what you're saying?
Purified by bhajan, he purified the entire universe.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So that's family of devotees. Increase them. And when they come, we have to treat each devotee with kindness constantly. Sridham. Sridham means goodwill or well-wishing. One devotee in Near Vrindavan, he was coming for years and he wouldn't take diksha. So the devotees asked him, why aren't you taking initiation? You've been coming for so many years. He says, I notice that when people are coming, new people are interested, you treat them wonderfully with such love. But then after they join and take initiation, you treat them like flies. You treat each other like flies. So this is Kanishta. Kanishta, Adhikari, they become influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance, and they become envious sometimes of other devotees, or sometimes they mistreat each other. And then what happens is devotees go away. Yamuna's sister, she was very soft and gentle, and there was some rough treatment, and she wasn't strong enough, so she left the movement, although she is a devotee, Janaki. We met her in about 12 years ago in Sharanagati. So like that, we have to be very careful. Treating devotees lovingly, sridham, well-wishing, always well-wishing of the devotees. Oh, this devotee is doing so well. I'm so happy. Not that, oh, this devotee, he was able to become a guru. Oh, gee, he's got so many faults. Kutinati. Don't find. That's Krishna's devotee. Even the most neophyte devotee is Krishna's devotee. So we have to respect. Bhakti Siddhanta used to offer obeisances to his disciples. And devoted disciples would hide when they saw him coming. He's such a great Mahabhagavat, he's a lion guru, ray of Vishnu, and he's the most humble. So that is the qualification to get the mercy of the Lord. Tranadapi sunichana tore vasahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Janani Vasprabhu. Hari Bol, Gaur Srila Prabhupada.